So I've been playing a lot of baritone guitar recently, and through a Boss OC3 sub-octave pedal, I needed a bit more oomph, looked at some bass amps, and whilst the Fender Rumble 40 was deemed to be the sort of best guitar-bass combo, too expensive. I decided to build a bass amp cabinet and used this tutorial, which is great, to form the basis of my cab. I really wanted a little 10-inch cabinet that I could link up either a bass cab or a guitar amp. I love the sound of the orange Micro Terra, and I wanted to be able to use something versatile. Here's me building the original cabinet, but I did find that the eventual result was a bit too deep, so I went back and decided to recalculate the amount of material that was needed to make it a less deep cabinet. Over to some helpful AI, which calculated a lot of the small feel parameters for me. I wanted to have a ported cabinet of sorts, and eventually it spat out something that looked a bit like this. So modeled it all up in SketchUp and gave myself a cut sheet, which you guys are more than welcome to use. You'll hear this thing at the end of the video, and if you like how it sounds, you're welcome to use this cut sheet as a guide. Convert it to inches if you are one of our American or North American friends, or if you happen to live in Myanmar. So moving over to how the thing was built then, I just wanted to document how this all happened really. As I mentioned earlier, I think I really liked the idea of a Fender Rumble, a very small portable cabinet, super lightweight. The tone is great for guitars and basses, but I thought a cab would be a little bit more versatile. So I had loads of 18mm or half-inch MDF for our friends over the pond. So I set about cutting up the large amount of surplus material I had. Right now I've just put on some MDF primer, and I've started to paint the inside bits of the cabinet. Now, this project was supposed to be on a massive budget. I wanted to build this thing for as little as humanly possible. I just don't have a lot of money at the moment. So using surplus materials and also paint, it's white because I have a lot of eggshell paint lying about. I also looked at a few different bass cabinets on the internet. GR Bass, I believe they're called, make some really great looking white cabinets. Mixed reviews on whether you should actually dampen within the cabinet if you're porting it. Just then I was installing some foam. Here's me sort of tidying the thing up a bit. So I've literally screwed the cabinet together. I've used acrylic mastic to get it as sealed as tight as possibly internally. And I'm now beginning to sort of sand it and get it ready for painting properly, routing it all to get it nice and square. It was actually quite square, but then I had to chop everything down again. I did find that ordering sort of cheaper PA-oriented speakers off Amazon, eBay, other places like that was not going too well. I had two break on me, the first of which just had no sound at all. The second one actually was more damaged than the first one. I decided to look on eBay and shout out to Ture, my Danish friend who packaged this Celestion Trace Elliott speaker beautifully, and I'll show you the result at the end, but yeah, massive shout out. The guy really went to town packaging it, and it needed it. They break easily. So yeah, here is the speaker, just soldering it up, drilling it into the cabinet. Whether that's right or not, I don't quite know. And I had a really cool idea for the grill of the speaker. I had some mesh ceiling tile. I had some samples lying about, drilled them on. It looked pretty good in the end. The overall weight of the cab ended up being 11.3 kilograms, which is 25 pounds. It could have been lighter if I'd used 12mm ply, maybe 18mm ply. Here's the finished thing. Here's what it sounds like. You can make it out. It just about replicates it. briefly zoom in at the end. I hope you enjoyed the video. There's a few things I'd quite like to sort out with it. The handle's terrible, the jack input isn't great, and I'd like to put some corner protectors on. The eggshell paint isn't very durable, as probably expected, and I could give it some clear coat lacquer. A more traditional amp covering such as Tolex would definitely be more hard wearing, and that's something I could look at as well. But generally for now, it's totally fine and serviceable. By all means, leave your thoughts and comments. Much appreciated.